So yeah, we're at the empty end, and Vale are going to go first as well. And the stats say that you got more, something like a 2 in 3 chance, isn't it, of winning a shootout if you go first, something like that, apparently. So, I just heard the guy behind summing it up. It's a pointless penalty shootout in front of absolutely no one. That is 100% correct.
Yeah. Read the room, chaps.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Tolar is going to take the first one. Mark Howard's taking his time, as you would, just to put the pressure on him. In front of nearly 2,000 people. Yeah, I know. So here we go. The first penalty shootout I think we've had under Rob and Ryan's ownership. Tolar gets to go ahead. And he drills it into the top right corner. I'm going to have to shout at a couple of blokes here, sorry.
Oi, move! Oi! Move! Oi! Shift! Shift!
So that's Paul Mullen to take the next penalty.
They have moved, evidently.
They have moved, yeah. They saw what I did to that dog. In case you haven't been listening earlier, I have a rivalry with the mascot. I didn't do anything to a dog.
Boomer.
Yeah. Right, Mullen to take the penalty then. Straight run up. He steps up and scores. Sends the keeper the wrong way. And that is just what we want to see, isn't it? We got something out of this, after all.
Yeah, Paul Mullen gets his goal, if you count them. As a striker, I'm sure you always do.
Oh, he will, won't he? I'm sure.
I counted him in training.
But great penalty, great execution.
Yeah. He nailed that, didn't he?
I'm sure we went to a penalty shootout in one of these games last season, Mark. I can't remember which one. I'm sure. Did we go out from the penalty shootout?
I thought we lost 3-2, didn't we? I could be wrong.
Might be wrong.
I'm often wrong. Is that Hennigan taking that? Howard stands tall. Long run up. He steps up. Drills it right foot in the bottom corner. Howard went the right way for that. But it was really well struck and he couldn't quite reach it.
I think that was low, was it?
Yeah, you're right. Low, isn't it? Yeah, beg your pardon. So Ford now to take the penalty. 2-1 to Port Vale. All penalties scored so far. Ford slowly wandering up. Spots it up. Amos swinging his arms around, trying to put him off. Ford with quite a short run up. He steps up. Saved. Wasn't the best directed penalty, really went left, but was pretty down the middle, and Amos is able to save it pretty comfortably. So Port Vale have the advantage, 2-1 after 2 rounds of penalties. He just didn't make the right contact at all, did he? And so now it's going to be Connor Grant to take the penalty. Grant spots it up very carefully. Howard is ready. Ref gives the go ahead. Grant on the edge of his area, steps up left-footed. Oh, good penalty.
Good pen.
Just tucks it inside the right post.
No chance. Right inside that post.
I mean, he got fairly close because, good effort, but like I said, just over halfway up, right inside the post, and there's really very little chance of saving them. Now
Wigan in the Carabao Cup.
Of course, yeah. That's
Last
the one.
Season.
Yeah.
Knew it.
Darn. Facts, I hate them. Here's Revan then. And he's got a big run up. He's in a hurry to take it as well. He comes charging in. And it's saved. Amos goes down. To be fair to Revan, it was struck pretty well in the bottom right corner. But it's saved. And so as a consequence, 3-1 up. And Port Vale will know that if they score this penalty, that's the end of that story.
Good save.
It was, wasn't it? Great piece of keeping.
Not as powerful as you'd have hoped, but it was in the corner. Guessed right twice.
So Richards to give Port Vale victory, which will mean absolutely nothing. Long run up, steps up, and he's saved. Mark Howard low to his right, pushes it round the post. It was again decent in the corner.
Strong right hand, just got one hand to it.
And up steps Ollie Rathbone. Again, he's going to have to score to keep Wrexham alive. Right-footed, legs wide apart, steps up, and a save. Good save by Amos. And the Port Vale players almost tentatively run forwards in celebration, either because they hadn't done their maths right or because they realise it actually doesn't mean anything. But Wrexham lose on penalties, but we finish top of the group anyway. And yeah, it was a good day for Ben Amos with 3 penalty saves, but nonetheless it's the draw that matters for us. The extra point Port Vale get means that we finish above them on goal difference. Wrexham in a pretty even game, taking the lead early in the second half. Cleworth driving the ball home after Budverson flicked the ball on from a corner by Anthony Ford, and then Port Vale getting an 82nd minute equaliser. Rico Richards ripping it in. To be fair, for the last 25 minutes of the game, Port Vale put Wrexham under a lot of pressure. Maybe the headline from Wrexham though is that Will Boyle was injured before the match and couldn't play. We then lost Luke Bolton to an injury early in the game, and then the fact that Callum Burton didn't come out for the second half implies that we picked up 3 injuries, which is a hell of a blow in what is a dead rubber. But we are through. We have got a home draw, and I guess we should be glad about that.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the only positives really you can take. I mean, like you say, Mark, 3 possible, injuries from a night where that's the one thing you're probably saying, let's try our best not to get, even though it's very much out of control at most of the times. But I thought, a few decent performances in there. I thought Max again looked strong. Obviously not easy to come in when you're not expecting to start, with the armband on as well tonight. Another goal for him. They'll be really, really pleased with that. But yeah, it was always going to be a bit of a weird game. Fair play to the 500 odd Wrexham fans who've travelled down, and I think the majority of them stayed for the penalty shootout as well. There wasn't too many heading for the exit on the full-time whistle, so fair play to them, making a good amount of noise again tonight, and again something to build on. More minutes in the legs, and now we just look to Saturday back in the league.
Yeah, and credit to Port Vale as well. I thought second half they were really good. They were really bright. I didn't think we ever had in that second half any control over the ball and domination, especially in this half of the pitch. It just seemed to be that fairly quick possession and then turned over, and then they were back on us. But I thought they played some really slick stuff right in between us and through us, and if not for a couple of late tackles and challenges, it could have been worse for us. But again, out of a game that doesn't really mean anything. I thought Brunt was okay. I thought Brunt was good. Seb Revan was electric at times down this side. I would prefer him on the left hand side. And again, minutes in the legs for Matty James and Bodvarsson and Mo Farl, all these people that need game time, because we're going to need them in this next run up, all the way up to Christmas and beyond. So I think they'll look at it, put it to bed. Let's look to Stockport now, and that's the important one. If we can go there and get something out of the game, that'll be a big bonus for us.
And Mullin scored his penalty. We were talking about the value of hitting the net. However he managed to do it, that's good news. Comprehensive penalty, that.
Yeah, it was a really well executed penalty. You sort of expect those ones from Paul Mullin. Now we've seen him do it a number of times where he sort of just smashes it, and it sort of takes.
He's the only one to score.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
very true. I mean, he shows his quality in that part of the pitch again. And I mean, I don't think, have we had a penalty so far this season?
I want to say no. I can't remember.
We haven't had a pen.
No.
So that's good for him to obviously get one in a game that like we said means a little less. So maybe we get one on Saturday. He might have that little spring in his step in taking that. You don't know, but yeah, for the rest of the lads who've missed theirs tonight, they'll probably be disappointed with that. But it's a difficult one to sort of look on and take much from. But yeah, I think Phil Parkinson will be just looking towards Saturday now, all focus back on the league.
It's we need to bring Gary Bennett back into the team, who came to Wrexham, was on penalties straight away, missed his first one at York, was taken off penalties, and when he was put back onto penalties, he started winning them, started running and diving and doing all the fantastic stuff. We need to bring him back in and get those penalties. Is that lad trying to mock us because we lost a penalty shoot?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's good.
That's really funny. Fair play.
You've got to respect it, haven't you? I mean, at all levels.
Yeah.
But the way
Fair
we play wide, ball out wide, crosses in the box, it doesn't lend itself to getting penalties. It doesn't have. We don't have those runners, those dribblers that get into the box, take people on, and jink and side. So we don't get penalties because of off the back of that. We would get a penalty more off a cross on a hand or somebody pushing in the box or whatever from a set piece. So that's where me, Elliot Lee, get in and around the box and play those little balls around, and that leads to more people dribbling in the box, if you like, to create those penalties.
Absolutely. Well, that should be the way we take penalties. Maybe we shouldn't. Who knows? Oh dear. Right, I'm off to chase those two little lads and give them a beating in the car park. I can't. I've said that in public now, haven't I? I've implied I did something awful to the mascot. Now this.
I'm going to see if the dog's all right.
Well, again, I reiterate, it was a mascot, not a real dog. I'd never hurt a dog, only people. Okay, and I've got court orders that prove that. Right, I think we should probably go before I get into even more hot water. What a way, gonna get arrested on my birthday.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Oh yeah,
big happy birthday to Mark, because he's done well not
kept
to
it
mention
quiet,
it to
hasn't
this
he?
point.
I wasn't even going to them, but I thought it might be useful in a plea bargain. So we'll see how it goes.
You
Anyway.
got a Max Cleworth goal. You got to be happy with that.
I did. I got to watch the most pointless penalty shootout of all time in an empty stadium. Woohoo! Fantastic, isn't it? Eh? And they said I don't know how to have a good time. Well, with the final score of Port Vale 1, Wrexham 1, Wrexham losing 3-1 on penalties, we've been Mark Griffiths, Mia Roberts and Andy Morrell from Wrexham AFC.